So, my very first question to you is Unlearn the Crap is about the conditioned responses and automatic programming that gets in the way of us achieving our goals, living our dreams, living with health and wealth and well being. What crap did you need to unlearn in order to have this amazing life that you do right now?
This is a great question. What crap did I have to unlearn to have an amazing life that I have? Well, first of all, it's everything that was given to me, everything that was taught to me by uh, my mom, my grandparents, society, friends, is that limiting beliefs that you cannot have that you have to work hard to earn money. And a lot of the times we hear that, oh, money do not grow on the tree, money don't fall out of the sky. So like these are the most common beliefs that were
Mm-hmm.
instilled to us, and that I wasn't born into wealth, therefore I cannot have wealth, and many, many others. So like these are all the beliefs, that all the crap, as you're saying, that I need to unlearn. And actually, in fact, this is right up my alley, because that's what something that I had to unlearn, that what helped me to build that life that I'm living right now, and I'm sharing with others as well. So I actually I have one of the workshops that I'm doing, and this is exactly what I'm teaching. The number first thing is the number one obstacle that is keeping us from growing further is it's us, it's our mindset. Like for years, I was thinking that it was all external, thinking that I wasn't born into wealth. I came to this country. I didn't know the English. My mom didn't have the money. She didn't send me to the good college, to the good school. Like all of this crap that was holding me. And I needed to learn all of that, because what I learned is that this was all behind. This is what everything is in the past. But my past doesn't define me. It's my present and my future. So it's okay. I acknowledge that. Yes, listen, it happened. I cannot get rid of that, but that's all in the past. I'm just going to leave it there. And then now I'm just going to focus on the present moment, and I'm going to focus on my future. What do I want my life to look like? And then just sit down and design. That's exactly what I did. One of the exercises that I absolutely love that I did is what do I want my perfect day to look like? I even have the notebook where I even remember that moment. I was flying from New York to Miami, and I was sitting um, in the airplane. And typically when I fly a lot, there's nothing else to do. So I was just right. And I remember I was doing that exercise. I wrote like everything, like what does Ella want? What does Ella want her life to look like? What time I want to wake up? What do I want to do when I wake up? Who do I want to speak to? Where do I want to go? What kind of people I want to have in my life? Like what do I want to surrender myself? How do I want to spend my time? So like basically it's focusing on what I want to have, and then just unlearn all of the things that I used to do in the past.
Ah, so you were able to, with that exercise, take a look at where you had dissonance between what you wanted and what you were actually doing. Can you give me an example of your daily schedule? I absolutely love that concept. Did it change what time you wake up or your morning routine, or what did this whole exercise do for you?
Yeah, great question. Well, first of all, yeah, because like in the beginning, so like for the half part of my life, I was doing the things that I was taught by the society. But 10 years, it's going to be 10 years ago, I had like this whole life transformation. And this is when I started, when I went on this transformational journey, self-discovery, that I needed to I learned all the crap that used to do. So before, the way I was driven is that like I didn't allow myself to sleep. I didn't sleep a lot, and I was thinking, okay, like I have to work more. We only have 24 hours in a day, so then how do I work more? And obviously by sleeping less. So that was one of the things. in my daily routine that I would sleep like 4 hours, 5 hours. I wouldn't allow myself to sleep more. So today, like sleep is very important for me. So it's connecting with my body. Okay, so like I
Yeah.
need to get a good rest. Another thing is like having this routine. Before I used to go to sleep at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So like I would work at night. I would get myself into the flow and I would just sit and work. And then until like literally I would just drop dead and then I'll go to sleep and then again wake up really early because I have kids to take care of, family, and go back to work. I remember even one time I was working till 5 o'clock in the morning and I came home at 8 o'clock in the morning and I had my 6 months old daughter with me. So like imagine like how that used to be. So today like sleep is number one. It's very important. The second thing that I practice every morning is so I do my gratitude, and then I do the gratitude in the morning and then the evening, and then I practice yoga every day and meditate. So meditating, that's like it's so powerful for me. I like it's like drinking a water or eating for me. So like I incorporate, it's like a must for me to have this in my routine. And here's another thing, like I noticed, like everyone is talking about stress, right? But typically we talk about stress, like stress at work, stress in relationship. But in reality, it's stress in our bodies when we don't sleep very well. We don't have the routine, sleeping routine. When we don't have like this physical practice, like some kind of a physical routine that we practice, it's all part of stress. Not eating on time, not connecting with ourselves, like being able, like when you meditate, you disconnect, you like connect with your inner self, you disconnect with all this noise. So this all allows us to take that stress off. So stress comes out from different types of ways in our life.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
absolutely love the fact that you, as a financial wealth expert, have unlearned the crap that we need to be in our masculine, that we always need to be doing, and that we need to sacrifice and stress and all of that, and that you've come back to the holistic well-being of allowing flow and the natural rhythms of our body, which are part of unlearning the crap and living with universal laws, being in balance, learning how our body system works, and using that to create true wealth. That is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love how you mentioned, because that's how I used to operate, in that muscular power. Even though, yes, I still have that, but I learned to balance that. I learned to, okay, like there's time when I need to be playful, that I need to be a woman. There's time when I need to be a mother throughout the day. And then there's time when I need to put my hat on and then be a powerful woman and a boss, because having a business and finances business, this is more of the masculine world. So I
Mhm.
gotta learn how to play around all this, all these cycles, and balance my life. Because before it was all about, okay, like I have to make money, I have to succeed, then I need to make sacrifice. But in all the reality, we don't need to make any sacrifices. It's being able to master all areas in your life. It's not just,
Yeah.
okay, money, and then the relationship, health, physical, love, spirituality, that's like all down there. It's actually mastering all areas of the life. And this is when you in connect with yourself and with the universe, and this is when the magic happens.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for saying that. I remember maybe about 20 some odd years ago, I've always had mentors and coaches. And so I had this one mentor who was a billionaire, and he said, I'm going to teach you how to become a billionaire. And the first thing he said basically was, you need to get a wife, because you need to have somebody who will take care of everything else in your world, so you can focus nothing but on creating wealth and building a business. And as soon as he said that, I thought, well, I am the wife. I am the mother. who else is going to do all of these things? And immediately it cut me off from his mentality, because I realized it was all about stress and doing and sacrifice and having somebody else live the rest of my life.
Yeah. 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 I love that. Yeah. It is so true. It's absolutely true. Yeah.
It's crazy. So, one other question I had about what you unlearned is, I hear your accent, and you also said that you were an immigrant to the United States. That I come from a family from Estonia where my grandmother escaped during the war. And in my whole journey, I've learned that European mentality, going through the war, going through very, very hard times, that my grandmother's traumas, her mother's traumas, my great grandmother, those are all a part of our DNA. What ancestral traumas did you have to unlearn for you to step into this moment and live in your power right here?
Yeah, actually, this is a very great question too. So I can totally resonate a lot with you because my grandfather came through the war as well. He walked all the way from Moscow to Berlin to
He
Germany. My
walked.
grandma, he
Wait a
walked.
minute.
Yeah. So yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So
please
he
tell me this story.
Well, he was a soldier. He was only 16 years old when he was called to when the war started. So it all started from Moscow. And then throughout these 4 years, since he was the soldier on the ground, so they were literally like moving. And all the way from Moscow, they ended up, when the war ended, he was in Germany. So literally all on his feet, he walked from Moscow to Germany throughout this 4 year that the war was. And
Wow.
my husband's mother, so she was born while the war in ghetto. You can say that there was actually a whole movie about that. So his grandmother, she was in ghetto, and this is when she got pregnant with my husband's mom. So yeah, and it's interesting that you mentioned you talked about it, because yeah, being like a Holocaust children, and then being raised. So I was raised, you can say, after the war children, children that were born during the Holocaust or after the war. It definitely put a huge impact. Like, when I even have conversations with my mom, because my mom was raised very masculine as well. She was her father's daughter, and she would tell me, like, when we have this conversation, she would tell me, like, listen, he was 16 years old when he went to war, and obviously, like, this whole impact, like, imagine at 16 years old, like, all the impact, the war, all of this that would put into your mindset. And obviously, when he came, he got married right away and had my mom. Like, he didn't know any of this, like, he was not educated or anything, going through the war. Like, the way he raised her is in all this masculine way. It's like, in a way, on one hand, listen, obviously there's a lot of great things that came out of it, but then on the other hand, there's a lot of things that she was impacted with. And obviously, and then she took this forward, as you mentioned, and yes, we carry this from generation to generation. So, and then obviously she carried this forward, and then certain things that she instilled in me as well. So a lot
Yeah.
of them, I guess I'm still grateful for, because I think, like, I wouldn't be where I am without that, because I'm my mom's girl. She was a single mom. I mean, she's a single mom. She raised as a single mom, and it was very challenging. And I think one of the biggest thing that was instilled into her by her father is that the power, the self-confidence, and the personality of taking the actions. because having me and my brother living in former Soviet Union, she took that bold move and she decided alone with two small kids, with no money, anything, just leave nowhere. And that's how we ended up here. But then on the other hand, talking about unlearning the crap, the things that I had to unlearn is that I don't have to do everything all by myself. Yes, I have the power to live my life the way I want to live. But then on the other hand, by myself alone, I can only go as far, I cannot go that far by myself. But it's all about having the team, it's having the right support. And it's okay to be a woman, it's okay to be vulnerable. That's another thing, because my mom, I remember when I had my accident 10 years ago, that's when my whole transformation happened. And when she called me, I was in the hospital, and then she's like, why are you crying? I didn't teach you to be like that. But I learned right now it's okay to be vulnerable. It's all right to have emotions, because that was another thing, is that she taught me not to take the emotions outside of me. And then it all just builds up in you. But it's okay to be emotional, it's okay to be vulnerable. So there's a lot that I needed to unlearn.
Absolutely. As you were talking, first of all, my grandmother's name was Ella. And
Oh yeah,
so,
wow.
yeah, so I feel a
Yeah.
real affinity. She, when she was 7 years old, she was sent away for the summer to go and look after the cows. She called them coos because she couldn't
Oh.
say the word properly. But
Yeah.
as a 7 year old, she had to go out and take the cows out to pasture, and then at nighttime bring them back. And so she was responsible for not only taking her expenses out of her family so that the farmer would take care of it, but then she was creating income for her family. And so I remember when she was 94, I became responsible for her, and I moved in with her. And I had a young child who was about that age, and she could not comprehend play. She could not comprehend a child playing with things because there was no value to play. And so these are the things that are, I mean, my grandmother turned out to be hyper independent, hyper responsible, everything about perfection so that she could survive. These were survival techniques. But that was back then. And in today's day and age, those things are a detriment, right?
Yeah, absolutely, totally agree. Yeah,
Did you
yeah,
have to
yeah.
unlearn perfectionism? Because you said one
Oh
of the things
yes,
that you learned.
you literally just took the words out of my mouth. Yeah, because like that was instilled in me as well. I mean, again, listen, uh, in a way, some of it, yes, it helped me out, but in a way, the perfectionist, a lot of the times, and I reflect even to my in my business, in my life, like how it would just paralyze me, because being that perfectionist, and I was afraid to take the steps to go forward. It's because like I want to perfectionate things versus, okay, let's just do it, learn, and then perfection it as we master these things. And then another thing is that you mentioned again about your grandma, because my mom in exactly the same way. And I caught myself when I was going through this transformation 10 years ago. It's like the feeling of constantly doing something, feeling of not enough. It's like you mentioned that you were watching, you were playing, your kids were, you were playing, and then your grandma was like, okay, there is no value in playing. And then the same thing in my mom, she's like, she obviously constantly need to be doing something. And I caught myself that I am exactly the same way. Like the moment I wake up, I need to be like doing, working, doing, like constantly something doing. And then I was like, okay, but and then that feeling of not enough, not being
Yeah.
enough. And that was like so big in myself, and I would catch myself like throughout the day. I would, in the evening, I would go to bed and I would feel disappointed because I didn't do enough. And I actually had to unlearn all of this, because like, and that this way, if you're constantly feeling of not enough, then you're not satisfied with your life. And that's exactly what happened with me, because I started feeling, okay, like I achieved all this success like 10 years ago when I had my this whole transformation journey. I was like, I achieved all the success, but I don't feel happy. I don't feel enough. I don't feel that this is enough. So then when is it enough?
Yeah. Yeah, that is something that I'm sure every woman listening to this is going to identify with, because when we achieve outer success and the world says this is what you need the house and the cars and the vacation and the 2.5 kids, and your body needs to look this way, and you need to have this image, and you need to be the perfect hostess, and all of these things that are put on us, all these shoulds, all these expectations. And then when we close the door, we're sad and alone and empty and dissatisfied. And that's not life.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's exactly all of this. That's exactly what I felt. Like coming to this country as an immigrant with only $100 and creating this beautiful life 10 years ago. After my accident, I had a bike crash accident, and when I woke up in the hospital, and this is when I had my epiphany moment. I was like, okay, I'm making all these millions right now. I have a house, I have a summer house, I have all the bags, all the shoes. I have 2 kids, a husband, but I don't feel happy. And I was so miserable. And this is when, unfortunately, for many of us, something tragical needs to happen for us to have that epiphany, and that's what happened for me. So like that tragedy, and like I think it slowed me down and allowed me to connect with myself. And this is when I woke up in this hospital bed, I was like, okay, I don't want to live like that anymore. There has to be a different way, because I definitely do not want to live like that. And then instead of, that's another thing that I needed to unlearn. Instead of, typically when something happens, we go into the victim mode. But that night, instead of like playing the victim and saying, okay, like, why is God punishing me, or why universe is punishing me? I started asking myself a different question. Okay, what is God or universe trying to teach me? What can I learn from this? And that's when I started asking this more empowering questions. So that's another thing that we need to unlearn, is to ask ourselves more empowering questions. And then when we ask better questions, it leads us to find these answers, to find clues, and to create this better and beautiful life for ourselves.
Absolutely. That whole saying about we need rock bottom is the strongest place. I dislike that, because that is the point of no return, where some people rise, but some people don't make it. And what happens and for me, and what I see so many times, is that we are so programmed to stay the course, stay what's expected of us, that the universe needs to take us down in order to get our attention. That's what happened to me. I had a complete and full nervous breakdown. It was the greatest thing that ever happened to me, because I was like, I tell people I was too strong for too long. That as the universe or God was tapping on my shoulder saying, excuse me, Kathy, excuse me, we're trying to show you a different way. But I was so strong and powerful that I just kept moving and soldiering on all that crap that I had been taught. And so you had an accident and had this same epiphany, which is absolutely amazing. My belief is these conversations are helping other people to see that they don't have to hit the rock bottom. At any point in time, they can stop and take a look and go, is this serving me? Am I living the life I want? Am I living in alignment? Am I living on purpose? Am I living prosperous?
Yes, agree. Totally, absolutely agree with you. You and me, we went through the same challenges, and you are on this mission right now. Yeah, to inspire people so they don't get to this type of challenging moments, because as you mentioned, it is, yes, it's sometimes some people, you and me, you see some people, they overcome this. For some, unfortunately they don't. And yeah, I totally agree with you. It's to take the charge of our life. We don't need to wait for something tragic to happen.
No, we don't. At any point in time, if someone's listening to this conversation, they can stop and say, okay, what is this conversation showing me about myself? What do I need to learn and what do I need to unlearn?
Yeah, absolutely, I love that. Yeah. I love that.
So, Ella, tell me, you unlearned the crap, and boy, oh boy, you got amazing lessons that you had to unlearn. What did you do to level up? What is your life like now? What is your vision? What is your mission? What is your zone of genius that you're bringing out into the world?
Oh, that's a great questions. You see, yeah, I love that. You see, that's interesting because, like, for all these years before my accident, I was trying so hard to become successful, to make the money, to have the beautiful life. And the more I was pushing, the harder I was working. I think, like, the more there was a resistance for me to have that beautiful life. And once I let it go, I went with the flow, with the universe, created that balance. I actually created even more, a more beautiful, more abundant life than when I was working that hard back then. So, and all of that, it happened in a shorter period of time. That's another beautiful thing for those that are listening. It's unlearning the crap and being in tune with yourself, with the universe, in balance. There's magic happens, and the magic is everything is happening much faster, much easier, and then it's like beautiful magical things, and then you start enjoying your life and having everything that you desire, you want, in a much faster way. And that's exactly what happened with me, like during this. So it's going to be 10 years from the day of my accident. And then throughout this 10 years, like, everything that I've been dreaming all my life, like, it's literally all coming into reality. So besides being financially free, which I'm very grateful to, I also I have my own company in finances. This is one of the beautiful things that I'm doing, is that I'm helping other business owners to inspire and to empower them and helping them to achieve the same things. So we're doing everything for them, helping them, like, businesses to thrive and financially. So all the aspects of the financial, helping with the accounting, with the bookkeeping, with the payroll, tax returns, strategic tax planning, CFO services. So that's, like, kind of one aspect of the working with the business owners. And then at the same time, everything that I went and learned throughout my journey. So I created a program where I help these business owners, as well as a woman, helping them create this financial freedom for themselves. So what I actually learned is, working with business owners for over 26 years, is that majority of them, and I was actually one of them as well, is that you have the business, you open the business with the passion, with the idea to help others, and then obviously to create financial freedom for your family. But then what happens is that the more we start working, we started making more money, and then we just started spending more money. And that's kind of what happened with me. I made more money. I purchased one house, then I made more. I purchased a bigger house, then I got myself a summer house, and then you get one car, another car, shoes and bags. So basically, in reality, we start spending more and more. The more we make, the more we spend. So, and then I had to unlearn all of that, because I realized that by spending all of that, I'm not creating this financial freedom, independence for myself, and I'm not securing myself, my future, and then especially my kids, for my generations to come. So I had to unlearn all of that. So, and then what I learned, and this is now what I'm teaching and empowering other business owners and women, is to create first this financial foundation, to establish the strong financial
Yes,
foundation.
I was just about to take our conversation to that place. Yes, keep going, keep going.
Yeah, so it's establishing first that financial foundation. And what it means is that, it's like typically when, like when the house is built, you don't build the house from the top, from the third story, second, the first, and then foundation. You build from the foundation first. And then once you have that strong foundation, then you start putting the first floor, the second, the third. And here's a beautiful thing. If you look at all these high-rise buildings, right? How are they like so high? Because the foundation is very strong. So the stronger the foundation, the higher you can go. And then now let's talk about the foundation. So what is it in that foundation? Obviously, we're talking about money, but besides money, it's everything that me and Katie, we just spoke about it. It's about the balancing all areas of your life. It's making sure that spiritually you master that aspect, relationship, your physical body. So all of this is a part of your strong foundation. And then, and now talking about the finances. So basically what I created a system, and something that I started doing, and now I teach others, is that it's you make the money, you invest the money, and then you earn more money on that, and then you just keep reinvesting. So one of the things that I learned is many individuals, and I was guilty of them as well, is that we underestimate the power of the compound interest, the power of the investments. Let me give you an example. If today you invest 100,000, making 10% interest on this $100,000 for the next 7 years, you know what's going to happen? This 100,000 is going to be 200,000. And that's how you double the money. And then now imagine if you're going to invest it for not 7 years, by 14 years. So now it's this, now this 200,000, you doubling it becomes 400,000. So, and this is what I'm talking about, like building this foundation. Okay, you build the foundation of all the aspects as we just spoke about: relationships, spirituality, health, and then the finances as well. So you earn money, you invest, you reinvest, and then you build up. And then once you build this up, the strong foundation, this is when you start going out there already, okay, enjoying and buying all these materialistic things. And then at the same time, giving back to the world, is sharing with others.
Yeah.
So, and that's,
Absolutely.
this is what I learned. This is what I did for myself. So I personally, I've just, for those that are interested, I can share like what I personally do, but it's not like one size fits all. For everyone, it's different. So once I like revisit this whole situation, so what I started doing is I invest in real estate and other business ventures. So I own over 7,000 real estate apartment units in across 10 different states that now they produce cash flow. So now I don't need to work to make money. I only work because I want to. And here's the beautiful thing. If you have already this passive income coming to pay all your expenses and you're only working because you want to, now you can take your mission even further and impact more people and give more, because we don't have to focus about surviving and taking care of ourselves and our family. Because when we just work and spend money on ourselves, it's all about just survival. We cannot give to others. We cannot take care of others if we cannot take care of ourselves.
Absolutely. I am so happy that you've said that, because I have always equated our root chakra, the foundation, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, all of that is us being fully independent, self reliant, and that includes financially independent. And so many times people have this belief that it's selfish. But I believe that it is selfish to make somebody or something else responsible for you because you didn't take care of it yourself.
Yes, I absolutely love that. Exactly, exactly. We are responsible for taking care of ourselves. And it's more selfish if we expecting someone else to do it. But though the reality, it's all in us, it's all within us, and it's all in our hands.
Absolutely. So, for those people who are saying my children come first, or my charity, or my church, or whatever it is comes first before me, they're not understanding that you have less to give. And now you are actually endangering your ability to help people when you put someone before yourself. That it must start with us taking care of ourselves first, right?
Absolutely agree. Absolutely. And that's another thing that I needed to learn as well, because I was raised that way, obviously, as well. Is yes, it was before, the way it was before with me was the kids, then it was my business, and then it was my husband, and then it was me somewhere at the end. But what I learned is that I have to come first, and then guess what? My husband comes after me, and then my kids, and then my business. So it's changing the priorities, and we are the ones, we have to take care of ourselves. Listen, when we fly in the airplane, right, the first thing that the stewardess says, what, in case of the emergency, we need to put the mask on ourselves first and then on our kids, because if we cannot help ourselves, we cannot help our kids or anyone else.
Absolutely. And that's built right into Mother Nature. When we feed our own body and our bodies are healthy and strong, that is how our bodies are designed to nurture our children when they're born. Our bodies are designed to give from our excess, not self-sacrificing. We're not cutting off parts of our body to feed our children. We are feeding from what we're creating.
Yeah, totally, exactly. Yeah, no sacrifices needed.
Ella, I want to thank you so much for this conversation. Before we go, I want to know, is there one thing that you wish that you could impart to the people who are watching and listening to this? What is the one thing that if they didn't get anything else from this conversation, that you want them to take away?
Well, one thing that I would say is that everything is in your hands, that you can literally live your dream life the way that you would like to live. Do not let anyone stop you or say that it's not possible. Everything is possible. This is your life. Do not let anyone stop you doing anything, and just live it to the fullest and enjoy and live with passion. And remember, it's all in your hands.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. For those people who are saying, absolutely, I love what you're saying. Can you help me? How can you help them? And how do they reach out to you?
Yes, so they can reach out to me, Ella Rivkin. I have my website, I have social media, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, whatever platform that they use, they can message me. And also, obviously, there's a links to schedule a strategy session with me if they would like to. And then I also have I have a programs. I do lots of workshops, retreats, programs, and then I have a women's club as well, where I teach how to build this designer life, build that strong financial foundation, and then grow forward to create financial freedom. So those of you that are interested, then you can message me, and then also they can subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do put lots of different videos, podcasts. I have lots of free material on my website, on the YouTube as well, books, workbooks, workshops. There's a lot of free material that if they would like to learn more about me or what I do.
Beautiful. Thank you so very much for what you do. Thank you for the impact that you're making in the world. And thank you for taking the time to share your vision and your expertise with the Unlearn the Crap. It's time for our souls to level up podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you. It was beautiful. Thank you.